Fishing in July can be really tough. It's hot and bass can be lethargic. Let's talk about what adding some wind and rain can do for you out on the water. Picture a pond with lily pads in the coves, some scattered wood cover, and grass flats. Some shallow, in 1 to 5 feet of water, and others stretching down to 7 feet. Maybe there's even a couple humps near 10 feet. Let's say it's been hot and sunny for several days, and you're on one of those summer heat patterns from my last video. I'll link that in the description and at the end if you missed it. But now it's one of those days. 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, maybe overcast skies, maybe even some rain. And if you're lucky, you'll get all three. And when that happens, the bass start to hunt. They roam more, they spook less, they're not just sitting around conserving their energy, they're actively chasing food. If you have just some light rain, I'll at least start out with a frog. You work the pads deep into them as well as the edges. If there's surface current, target the calm water where the pads break it. Or my favorite thing to look for is those little current lanes between the gaps in the pads. If that bite is on, it's hard to do anything else. If a bass blows up and misses, always have a jig or a Texas rig ready to just throw right where that thing blew up, and then a lot of the times you can get that bite, you can get that bass to bite again. And as always, when it comes to jigs, don't worry about bottom contact. Just toss it in and start hopping it around. That bluegill imitation just works. Now, when you have wind and rain, bass get even more aggressive. The water's a little cooler, oxygenated, stirred up, and the bait fish just get pushed around a little bit. That's when the open water and the windblown bank start producing. Now, I'm going to walk you through the baits that I throw in these conditions, and I'll also share one that I don't personally use, but my dad does, and he just smashes bass on it every time we're out there, whether it's windy, rainy, or really any weather, because it's all he uses. I've seen it firsthand. But if you have shallow grass flats in your pond, bass will roam all over them. You can fan cast those areas with a whopper plopper. I use the 130 size to add more commotion to an already disturbed surface, and the bass can find it better. And don't be afraid of its size, the small ones will eat it too. A buzz bait, I like mine with a paddle tail swim bait or a zoom horny toad trailer. A walking bait, it'll be a larger or a louder one like a vixen or a shower blows. A shallow crankbait such as the Hybrid Hunter or the Bill Lewis ATV. A spinner bait, I only use a Megabass SV3. It's super durable and just lasts so many fish catches. And a chatterbait, I've just been using a Hags Hurricane bladed jig lately. It's been doing just like almost as good as a jackhammer has ever done for me, and it's much cheaper. And a swim jig, especially if the grass is thicker, will definitely work in this situation with a paddle tail trailer. And for what my dad uses, no matter the weather, it's his go-to 99% of the time. It's a Rapala BX Minnow. He casts it, he trolls it. He even used one for months after the bill fell off, and he named the thing Bill Free and still got plenty of bass on it. And if there was ever a time for you to try out a 6-inch cull shad or mag draft type swim bait, now's the time. Don't overthink it. Just tie it on, throw it out there, steady retrieve it through the open water, around the grass, or along the windblown banks and cover. If you're fishing from the bank, find a shoreline where the wind is in your face and cast parallel down the bank. I fish every bait pretty much the same. I always work in some pauses, rod tip twitches, sudden changes. The only exception being the buzz bait. Just straight retrieve that because it'll just sink if you stop it. But the irregular movement is often what forces bass to commit. Now, if you're interested in what rods I use for these baits, I throw my jigs on a G Loomis IMX Pro 844C MBR. This rod will honestly throw every bait mentioned in this video, but I probably wouldn't throw the 6-inch swim baits on it. For spinner baits and chatter baits, I use a 7'2" medium heavy Shimano Zodius, which I'll also throw a swim jig on, and the Whopper Plopper 130 and buzz baits. It's a pretty good universal rod. For the walking baits and the shallow crankbaits, I use a Megabass Levante Flatside Special. And for the 6-inch cull shad and mag draft, I use my 7.2 heavy Shimano X Pride, which I can also throw my frogs on. So the next time you see wind, rain, or clouds in the forecast, if you can, try to get out there. It's prime time for catching aggressive bass and can be some of the most fun fishing you can have. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and check out this video on where bass go when it's hot out and how to catch them. And I'll see you there.